Today is just gonna be a quick video. No, don't be afraid. It's not about my accordion, but I just brought it from the heat so it can cool down. You cannot leave them in the car. So this is pretty much all my worldly possessions. So you talk about living on the easy living. What do we have here? Here we have my wildlife camera with a big monster lens. And then I have a couple of lenses over here. Got my computer. This big envelope picked up. My lawyer in Kentucky sent me what they call discovery. You know what discovery is? Discovery is what the bad guys, in this case the prosecutor, have against me. And it's like amazing how people have the audacity to lie through their teeth. I'm just gonna read you something interesting. Unit 1. A semi-truck hauling an excavator on an approximate 107-foot long oversized load trailer, and Unit 2, a pickup truck and enclosed trailer, were both traveling north on Interstate 65 near mile marker 16 in Kentucky. So Unit 2 is the guy that hit me. Unit 1 is me, semi-truck. So Unit 2 was a pickup truck with a small trailer. Unit 1, me, was in the middle lane with Unit 2 in the right lane of travel. The operator of Unit 2, the pickup truck, said that he was in the right lane with Unit 1 coming up from behind in the middle lane. As Unit 1 is coming around to pass, you guys know I never pass anybody, but according to this guy, as Unit 1 was coming around to pass, the right side tracks of the excavator collided with the left side of the trailer being hauled by Unit 2, which is a bunch of BS. The operator of Unit 2 said that the units became entangled for about 10 seconds before they were able to disengage each other. After this initial collision, Unit 2 lost control going to the left, where the left side of Unit 2 struck the center concrete median wall. Unit 2 came to final rest on the left shoulder with the trailer partially blocking the left lane of travel. Unit 1 is reported to have pulled over ahead approximately quarter of a mile. Unit 2 did not see the operator of Unit 1 exit his vehicle, and no attempt was made by the other operator to check on or exchange information with Unit 2. After approximately 5 minutes, Unit 1 is said to have left the scene. The listed witness has stopped to check on Unit 2 and exchange phone numbers before continuing north to attempt to locate Unit 1. The witness did not observe the collision. The witness. What kind of a freaking witness are you? You did not observe the collision, having arrived on scene just after. He then traveled north, reporting back to Unit 2 the location of Unit 1. Unit 1 was located and a traffic stop initiated near the 36-mile marker northbound by Kentucky Fish and Wildlife officer. The operator of Unit 2 advised, so now finally they come into my point of view, what Unit 1, me, said. The operator of Unit 1 advised that he was traveling 60 miles per hour with cruise control set. That's the truth. Unit 1 moved over to the middle lane of travel due to a disabled vehicle on the right shoulder. Until then I was on the curb lane. Unit 1 said he observed a white truck and trailer, Unit 2, approaching in the right lane at a high rate of speed estimated to be 90 miles per hour. Again, honest truth. Unit 1 said that as they were passing, Unit 2 struck the right side of the excavator. Unit 1 said that they were entangled for a short period of time and he observed Unit 2 strike the concrete median wall. Unit 1 said that he pulled over about a mile ahead to check for damage and did not have any that he noticed. Unit 1 said that he waited 15 to 25 minutes and left, continuing northbound. the operator of Unit 1 was cited for leaving the scene of an accident. That's the idiots I'm dealing with here. So the guy hits me and claims that I hit him, you know. I never pass anybody. Like, and how can you pass a pickup truck? Pickup trucks always drive way faster than me. Like, right, if this was like another truck, maybe. But on that day, I remember it was either Sunday or Saturday. It was very nice conditions, you know, blue sky, the sun was shining, and barely any traffic. So usually, you know me, I drive like 56, 57 miles per hour. This time I was in good mood. Just left the truck stop. I said, okay, I'm gonna do 60. So I set up my speed for 60, 97 clicks an hour. I remember perfectly, right? And this guy comes flying from the back, like there's no tomorrow, hits me because he lost control, because, you know, the trailer, like the trailer that pickup trucks use, you know, they sometimes don't even have their own brakes, right? So this thing started doing this and pushed him into the tracks of my machine. So luckily he just did very small damage. I could still continue driving, but of course it was a mistake to leave. That's what they think now. They think that I'm the culprit because I left. Anyway, here's my studies on a positive note. So back to my notes for my accordion. See, I still have all the video lessons on my computer. And speaking about the computer, I just did my books for July, so I thought you guys would be interested to know if I made any money in July. And that's how I do it. You see, that's all my receipts in there. Then I just take them out and just file here like truck, fuel, HST, which is sales tax, permits. So I never in my life, being a trucker, spent so much on fuel. Now these numbers are all Canadian dollars, right? So even if I spend US for my accounting, because I'm in Canada, I have to change everything to Canadian dollars, and I have to change miles to kilometers. And so I spent on fuel in July $11,289. I spent 1,235 Canadian on the truck. Tolls were $642. Permits and licensing were $5,209. That's the oversized, overweight permits. And HST, I'm gonna get back $1,408 here, and then my HST sales tax, that's part of my payments for truck, trailer, stuff like that. So I'm gonna get like $2,500 back from the government in a couple of weeks. So I spent $59.26 Canadian plus tax on my accordion. It's a pretty fancy, expensive instrument, but I did 3 trips and converted to Canadian. 3 trips, paid $48,454. That's the highest I ever made, but with fuel so expensive, I don't know. Oh, and YouTube, I think last couple of months back, I think I had like $4,000 and a $5,000, so now it started going down. So I made $3,265. So basically, I made, if you combine trucking and YouTube, I made 51,000 Canadian dollars. Mamma mia! But of course, you know, truck trailer insurance cost me 10,000 bucks Canadian again. So I know truck, what is it, 4,000, trailer 3, Jeep 1,000, and sorry for my running nose. I don't know. I just came in from a hot, it's very hot outside. I think it's like plus 27 C, but inside the room, for some reason, you start getting chilly. And so yeah, this was the kind of like a record month in terms of revenue, but you know probably why. Because one of those 3 trips that I was paid for, it's the one with that drill rig where I was sitting on my butt for 2 weeks in June, right? So that trip started in June. But the way I calculate revenue is I always go by the payment date, because sometimes you start the trip in 1 month and then you get paid later, and so it can get confusing, because some people go by the month when you got your rate confirmation. So let's say that drill rig trip I started in June, so I could have used that revenue for June, but I don't like that. I like going into my bank account and I just look exactly, like 2 of these paid US dollars, and so I go into my US dollar account, and usually I don't have much activity there except deposits, and so boom boom, I see right away 2 deposits by my factoring, no, one was by my factoring company, and then load number 3 was through a Canadian broker, the drill rig, and so they paid me Canadian dollars, and they actually, this time I got lucky because they did the quick pay, and they only charged me 2% as opposed to 5% I usually pay to my factoring company. And these guys swore to me that it's non-recourse, saying that if they cannot collect money from their, that's my car over there, if they cannot collect money from their customer, they're not gonna come after me. And you see that black Mercedes minivan over there, which is funny. I was just passing it and I saw a guy the driver was like very fancy looking, wearing a suit, and I saw that in the back he was attaching the sign "almost married," and then he took out a red rug and he put the red rug in front of the door where they're supposed to enter. Can you believe this? The guy puts a rug on the ground for somebody to enter. When I went in, when I was talking to the girl downstairs, she was calling somebody, trying to find the groom. She called one number. She says, "Are you guys getting married today?" "No." "Okay, what room he's in?" So whoever was on the other line, on the other end of the line, they gave her the correct room number, and so they called, and so basically it looks like today they have that the pre-party, and they said the first trip he's taking guys only, so they're probably going to their own boys only party, and then the girls will go to their own party. So one of these hotels, like it's a pretty decent hotel here in Cambridge, Ontario. On weekends quite often they would have weddings, because they just rent a bunch of rooms, and it's of course a very expensive endeavor. But surprisingly, today is Monday actually, but it's a civic holiday at least in Ontario, so banks and government offices are closed, but all the stores are open. And finally, another interesting thing happened today. I've been trying to get this I've been trying to get enlisted into this CFSC, Canadian Firearms Safety Course, non-restricted, to get a non-restricted, perfectly legal, hunting rifle or shotgun, something like that, just to have fun at a shooting range. And this guy that I paid money to, he just disappeared. Right then he tried to do a course when I was sitting at that truck stop waiting for my permits. I could not just leave the truck for 2 days over there, and so now I keep bugging him. I said, "Are you gonna have anything in July? Because now I don't want to, because of this fuel so expensive, I don't want to go far. I just want to do some short trips." And actually I talked to a guy today. He has a load in just on the other side of the border going back to Ontario, but it pays pretty good because it's a very heavy load, like a big machine, so I can do it no problemo, and the price is good. And so talking to that guy, so I might just go a couple of hours into US, pick up that, bring back to Ontario. And the only problem is that in Ontario I'm gonna end up in the same place where I delivered the previous machine, 5 hours away in Ottawa. And so anyway, turns out I was looking at this store, and I could never understand, like, there's no markings on the building, it just says sail, you know, like sail on a boat, sail. And I see always there's activity, there's people parking pickup trucks, you know, cars, and going in, going out. I'm like, what the heck, what is sail? So I thought it was some kind of a sea, you know, seaman's accessory store or something. But again, some of these stores, they're just nuts, you know, like, for example, here, like, that's the hotel I'm in. Oh, check this out, nice looking W9, blue with white decals. Oh, multi-axle, what is that, reefer? The guy has like 50 axles. But anyway, like, to give you an example, right? So I am at the hotel called Cambridge. There's a sign that says Cambridge Hotel Conference Center, right? And so you look at this building, on the outside it will say Cambridge Hotel, so you know what this is, right? Hotel. But some of these businesses, I don't know who their marketing people are, you go to that place, it says sail, that's it. No outdoors, no hunting supplies, no fishing supplies. The only thing that might tell you what they're doing is that there's inside that logo sail, there's a kind of like a picture of a guy with a rucksack or backpack climbing a hill. So a guy climbs a hill, but you know, it can be from afar, if you look at it, it can be a gym. So basically I had no clue what it is. And then I was searching online for hunting sporting goods dealers, you know, Ontario, near Cambridge, Ontario. And all of a sudden on that list I see sail, Cambridge. What? So finally today I see it's open, and I was going through the neighborhood. I said, you know what, finally I want to go inside and see what this sale is all about, because it looks like it's actually kind of like the same as a Pro Bass or Cabela's, you know. And we have Cabela's, but the only one is like 150 kilometers away, almost 90 miles in Barrie, actually, where I was sitting and waiting for those permits. And then there's Bass Pro Shops near the border, near Niagara Falls, which is also 100 miles away. And so if these guys are pretty much the same as Cabela or Pro Bass, they should be, you know, selling the stuff I want, just to go and do some research. So I go inside, and it's exactly like a copy of Cabela or Bass Pro Shop, you know. You have your fishing supplies, hunting supplies, clothes, you have guns, shotguns. Man, I go in, one guy is free, like a very old gentleman, you know, gray hair. So I said, sir, I'm still waiting to get my CFSC. I don't have my PAL. I'm just doing research. Can you help me? The guy says, yes, sir. I said, what caliber ammunition is readily available in your store? Because I know sometimes there's, you know, shortages, problems, right? So I said, what caliber is the best if you always want to be sure that you can come in and buy some, you know, cartridges or bullets, right? And the guy looks at me kind of funny. He says, you mean free? I'm not sure how he was listening. Maybe he was deaf in one ear. I said, no, I'm not looking for free bullets. I'm asking which one is easier to buy, which one is always in stock, you know? And he's like, oh, what are you trying to shoot, you know? I said, well, I want to get a rifle for some long range target shooting, just for recreational purposes. I said, something like 1,000 yards, 1,000 meters, you know? And the guy looks at me kind of funny again, and he says, where are you gonna find a range like that in here? By the way, that's another good, it's actually a very good question, but I'm guessing he was either testing me or something, because I knew the answer. I said, oh, I did my research. I know there's a military base just north of Toronto, about an hour north, and we have our own little, you know, rifle association in Canada, and those guys, they rent that military base. It's kind of like basically like a landing strip, you know, where planes land and take off. And so like one weekend in a month or something like every second weekend or every third weekend, whatever. These guys rent that entire, you know, airport, so to speak, right? The landing strip, and that's where you can go and do, you know, 1,000 meters, 2,000 meters, and of course you have to pay for that. But so we do have ability here if you're interested in trying, you know, long range shooting. So anyway, I asked this guy about the caliber, and when he knew what I was looking for, like, you know, the range, he says this one, and he takes out a pack of cartridges, and it says 7mm RAM mag. I'm like, what the heck is that? I thought the best one is 6.5 Creedmoor. He says, well, Creedmoor is not always available. He said, for example, now we don't have it in stock. See, that's the question. That's why I was asking this, because I know 6.5 is kind of like, people say, the best for, you know, target shooting long distances, and he says 7mm. That's what I always recommend. 7mm Remington Magnum. And why is that important? Because once you know your caliber, then you can select your firearm, right? Because you go online, all these stores, you know, first you have to select the caliber, because not all firearms are available in that caliber. So it really reduces your research, makes it much easier, you know. So I went online to a couple of stores I've been using for research. I said, okay, rifle, bolt action, right-handed, new, caliber, 7mm RAM mag. Boom. One big online store had like 62 different models, you know, and some of models that I was pretty much selected, they fell off because they don't offer this caliber. Oh, but the best part, I said, how much is the, it looked pretty decent. It was either Federal or something. It was pretty decent, you know, American maker of these bullets or cartridges. I said, how much is the box of 20? And I thought the guy would say like $100 because it's a 7mm bullet, right? He said $49 plus tax. He says 55 Canadian. So, and that's how I found my caliber. So no more 6.5 Creedmoor. Captain Sergei is going for the big gun. 7mm Remington Magnum. And I want to get either Howa 1500, Savage Arms, or Ruger Precision, or Savage Precision. Anyway, those are all my news. And the only thing I did today, because today is a holiday and I couldn't do any banking, but what I did, I paid my parking lady $350 Canadian. I'm supposed to pay her each first day of the month. And I did my books, and I filed my HST return, because online it's everything always open. So now I'm gonna get back the $2,500, and now I'm gonna do this video, and then I'm gonna play my accordion, maybe watch some movie or something. Oh, and the guy, I'm still waiting for the guy to send me if we do agree for this short run from US to Canada. So he's gonna send me, I already sent him my insurance, because of course most of these brokers, they want to be you know, certificate holder, so you have to put their name and address in there, not just a generic copy. And so I did that, sent it to him, and so now I'm waiting for his rate confirmation. So if he sends it to me, I said I can load probably Wednesday, because I said I need one day to do my paperwork here, not related to this trip. Like, you know, I have to, my insurance is due for renewal, and so my insurance broker already sent me a bunch of paperwork I have to do, and I have to get some driver abstracts from my local DOT or MTO. So I got to do some stuff for, mostly for insurance, which renews, I think it renews like in September, but they always start bugging you, like, you know, August 1st you have to start working, because some of these documents they require take a while to come by mail, you know. Like I need a carrier abstract from MTO, And the driver abstracts I can get myself. It takes like 2 minutes. You go in, you go to the, you know, MTO, Service Ontario, or DOT, and you pay like 25 bucks and you get those abstracts. But they want a carrier abstract, and that one you have to order online, and it takes like 2 weeks to arrive in the mail. So that's it. I think those are all my news. Now my recording is already a room temperature, so soon I'll be able to play it. Perfect. All right, thanks for watching. Ciao.